Jambo and welcome again to another conversation for the week as we think about the politics of our country and what has been happening around us. And again, this week, I'll have to seek the apologies of those of us who might not be as interested as we are on matters politics in our region and talk for what I hope will be the last time about Mount Kenya region and the issue of unity. This last weekend, we saw over 100 members of parliament from various parts of the country converge in Murang'a at Honorable Sabina Chege's event where she was raising money to support a local school. These members of parliament had accompanied the Deputy President Rigathi. We had members of parliament from Mount Kenya. We had members of parliament from Rift Valley and a few from other parts of the country, including Eastern and Nyanza. People like Osoro, of course. What was the message? The primary message in that particular meeting, written and unwritten, spoken and unspoken, was on whether Rigathi Gachagua has the capacity to rally support from across the region to a cause that is important to him. And I think that message went home. Of course, there's the unspoken message in regard to what had happened a couple of weeks ago, where we had 50 members of parliament, 3 of whom who had gone and suggested that in their opinion, they think Mheshimiwa Ndindi Nyoro is right or is ripe to be the deputy president in exchange of Rigathi Gachagua. And that raised a lot of debate for around 2 weeks, and then the debate died. Ndindi has since then already on twice, there were 2 occasions I think, reaffirmed his commitment and his loyalty to the president and the deputy president and assured the duo that he is behind them as one of the people who, as he called himself, mtu wa mkono wa rais na deputy president. But that discussion, there was somebody who said never let a crisis go to waste, that in every dark cloud is a silver lining. That particular debate was actually very good for Rigathi Gachagua. Why do I say that? Some of the things he has done, including what will happen in Murang'a, Kirinyaga, and the consistent message that is now looking like what is going to be his rallying call for this term for the region, has become very clear, has gotten clarity, has gotten very specific. The call for Mount Kenya region to unite as a bloc, to operate politically as a bloc, to organize themselves as a bloc. One of the things he said over the weekend in Murang'a was, let us come together as a region. And if you think you can be a leader of the region, then operate from within that region, put yourself forth, let the region consider you and decide whether they can take you forward or not. What he was saying is, do not be a leader who divides the region to lead them. Come and play within the context of a united region. Come and compete with him, for example. That's what he was inviting people to do, and anybody else. But with the single purpose as well of uniting the region. So basically what he's saying, if you believe you're a leader of Mount Kenya region, then you must, like him, first and foremost and above everything else, demand for the region, insist for the region, rally the region to be united as one bloc. So that everybody who is competing to be a leader of the region has the same message, that our unity is our political strength. Now, if every leader has that message, then it means nobody is going to stand up and say, sisi kama watu ya Nyeri, sisi kama watu ya Murang'a, sisi kama watu ya Kiambu, sisi kama watu ya Laikipia, sisi kama watu ya Nyahururu, sisi kama watu ya Nakuru, or wherever it is that people from our region, or sisi kama watu ya Meru, watu wa Embu. Nobody is going to wake up and use that as his launching pad for his campaign to lead the region. Everybody is going to be speaking of sisi kama watu wa Mount Kenya region. Mimi kama kiongozi wa Mount Kenya region. As a leader of the region, this is my proposal. And his argument is, let us come and compete on ideologies that take our region forward politically and socially and economically as a bloc. And then once we compete and you put your ideas and I put mine and the next person puts theirs, whoever the region is going to decide to follow is going to be the person with the most articulate ideas or most precise ideas or most beneficial ideas for the region as a whole, not for the parts. I think that is a powerful message. And I think that is one of the most beneficial outputs of the conversation about succession, which I hope now has come to an end because it was premature, it was insensitive. 1.5 years down the road for people to start talking about the next election. It was insensitive. But within that insensitivity, we are able to pick something that can benefit us as a region. And I'm sure a lot of other regions, Western Coast, other regions are looking and competing to see whether they can organize themselves like Mount Kenya region or better than Mount Kenya region. So Mount Kenya region must realize that we are not doing this in a vacuum. We are doing this even as other people do the same. Nyanza, Raila has continued to consolidate Nyanza. He then moves to Western to try and consolidate Western as Western. He doesn't consolidate it as part of Nyanza. He consolidates Western as Western, consolidates Nyanza as Nyanza. He goes to the coast to consolidate coast as coast. So the issue about regional consolidation for political purposes is not only happening in Central Province. So it's not only happening in Mount Kenya region. So Mount Kenya region must be very alive to the fact that any division just works in favor of other regions that are consolidated. Let every region consolidate, then let's come to the table and compete based on numbers, based on ideas, based on purpose for our nation. So one of the things I really, really loved about the last month and a half, this discussion about succession politics for Mount Kenya, is the awareness by the region that we are actually better together. We are stronger together. I think it's come to a point where everybody now agrees. Muranga was good in that everybody, Dende was there. Anybody who might have had a different opinion was able to see Dende and Rigathi sit together. They able to listen to Dende say, you know what, for this time, for this moment in time, I am following Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto. And to listen to Rigathi say, by the way, I am also going to do everything I can to mentor those people who are behind me. Because our region must continue generating leaders for every generation. My conclusion on this issue is, first, as I said, I hope this debate is done. I hope we're not coming back to this conversation again. But then also, even more importantly, is something that seemed to have gotten lost in the confusion and the consolidation that was going on in Mount Kenya region. The Deputy President has been very clear that he's rallying the community, the region, behind William Ruto because that is the person he believes has the best offer for the region. So we're not just coming together for the sake of coming together. We're coming together to strengthen, to empower the president, William Ruto, to give him warmth, to give him security, to let him know that he's got an entire political bloc, a large political bloc behind him, supporting him on his policies and standing with him. And as I said last week, I am hoping that our region's political leadership, elected political leadership, is going to now take the step forward and not just rally together, but do what Rigathi does. Start defending the president's policies, start explaining the president's policies to the region, so that even as other regions try to catch up with what is going on, let the president feel comfortable coming to Mount Kenya region, because Mount Kenya region understands what he's trying to achieve, the challenges he's facing, and are rooting for him. So my challenge goes back to Kenya Kwanza leaders in Mount Kenya region. Again, lead the way of the other regions. Now we have consolidated, we have agreed, we are operating as one vote block, coordinated and led by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, behind William Ruto, standing with William Ruto and his policies and his government. Now, let us see the leadership from the region go out into the region and start explaining, start dealing with the resistance that has been there for a while in terms of the policies that the president has tried to implement. Start trying to explain to people about the housing fund, about the social health insurance fund. Start explaining about the issue of debt and debt management. Go to the ground in the region. Let the Mount Kenya region not only be a joint consolidated political bloc, let it also be the bloc that understands and supports President Ruto's policies more than any other bloc. This is how you get influence, this is how you get power within government, and this is how you keep it. So I pray that this is what we're going to do as we move into this week and into the front. I want to give kudos to Rigathi Gachagua. He's done pretty well in navigating what was essentially a pretty complicated test of how to navigate what had started out looking like a generational call for a shift to generational leadership. He managed to deal with it. He managed to deal with it without losing anyone. he managed to pull Dende into his embrace. This was powerful. Again, crises come to prove what you're capable in. For how he has managed this, how he has been able to lead everybody together, he gets credit because he's actually starting to show that he can be the kingpin of this region. Congrats to him. As always, we do this from Rware. Good soup, good pilau, good nyama choma, good conference facilities. We have good accommodation. So we welcome you whenever you're in Nyeri. Please allow us to serve you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Asante.